What is up, my intuitive collective? Welcome back to the channel. If this video finds you, I trust that the universe is doing its magic. If you would like to fast forward right into your story, the timestamp will be in the description below. We're going to jump through some pre-energies before we get started. So let's see. If you guys would like to see the storyboard, I fixed the camera so you can see the full thing, but this is what we got. This is the full thing. Story is very interesting. It's reminding me of a dream that I had. But we'll jump into that. We'll tap into that in a second. So today, first card we have coming out is Shadow Work. And I like the duality of both of these cards because it is talking about a duo in this story, or almost like two sides or two flips of a coin. Let's see, in the extended, we're going to be going through this Two of Cups energy. So it is talking about more or less this duo. But when I see these cards, I almost see the duo talking about our own selves. So not necessarily a Two of Cups like with another person, but kind of like our own. You can say our higher self, lower self, upper world, lower world type situation. Also say that because we have almost this split line right in the middle, and it's almost pulling aspects from both sides of the equation or both sides of the spectrum. Also because of this card, or these three cards I should say, we have these two planetary bodies or planetary energies, along with this elephant energy in the middle, connecting the two together. So we'll jump into that. Some other pre-energies we have before we get to the bottoms of the deck. I was writing out almost like these memos for another video on a completely different topic, but if they fit for you, then they fit for you. The first one is true creators create time. Stop looking for more time to create because you are a creator. So we are all busy. We all have, a lot going on within a day. But if you would like to do something, and if you are eager of manifesting something, time will be created. And then the last one we have is don't let past hurts and past traumas contaminate and screw up your new and future manifestations. So I hope that resonates for you guys. The bottom of the deck here, we have the Nine of Fire. This is tapping in and tying into our craft card, which we'll get into in the YouTube portion. All of these magic wands and things of that sort, things of that nature. Also on the bottom of this deck, we had the Ten of Water appearing out, and you can see this is the last card in the row. So this is the same deck. It's not multiple cards mixed in, but this deck does have two Ten of Waters. So we can look at this beautiful imagery. There is a difference. As you see, this Ten of Water that's at the end of the story is more up close and personal, while this one seems to be more at a distance, or at even a different angle, like the camera angle is flipped or switched a little. You see the rainbow emanating right across both scenes, or right across both of them. Okay, so at the bottom of this deck, we have this Emperor energy, which is all of these seahorses, which is almost becoming a big thing or a big energy in these stories. It's almost shocked and surprised me, but this Emperor or this seahorse energy, well, all of these seahorses bouncing around. Then we also have this hollow bone, which says teachability. And for me, this ties into this, of course, you see how beautifully these energies emanate with each other, but it ties into this elephant spirit, which says learn from the past. So just like this learning and teaching energy here. This is the mystical dream and the divine animals. Okay. And then lastly, we have the sea otters energy. And it says transformation. And again, this was giving me almost like that double side or duality in a sense. So let's see. At the bottom of the deck, we have the big picture. So take what resonates. If the rest, let's jump into our session. So the first card in our storyboard today, we have the Eight of Air. Now, this Eight of Air comes through or reminds me of almost like a, it can be either an astral state. This Eight of Air is representing the Eight of Swords, but I don't really read it necessarily as the Eight of Swords. I'm reading it and I'm looking more at the depiction wise. It's almost the same person, but the same person split, either split down the middle or split into fours. Either way, it's almost like the mind or consciousness is split, and I don't see that as being disoriented, at least not today. It's more like a dream state or a dream realm. Like you see these castles in the background. That reminds me of like the dream realm or the dream state, or just building mentally, astrally. So something maybe not as physical. Another significant energy may be the number 25 for you. So you may be 25 or directly near the age of 25, or this could just be talking about the year 2025. I say that because these two cards at the top row have the 25. So these two cards or these two energies, this is talking about, especially with this bright white light here. In this story, it is talking about the idea of going to a place or going to a space. It could be, this astral space or even this calming space. For me, it really wants to talk about the dream realm or the dream world. Like you can only get in this space non-physically, so through dreaming. Like you can't walk there. It's almost like you either meditate or you dream and you appear there. That's how you get to the Garden of Venus, or that's how you are able to unlock these doors or get through these doors. And in this space, it's very calming and dreamlike, very serene, even almost brings to an idea of a twilight feel. And then this also says rest and renewal. So that resting aspect almost reminded me of the dream zone, dream space, dream landscape. And then our next card was the Neptune's card. And this card says consciousness, idealism, dreams, fantasy, and art. So this card actually has the word dreams in it. So rest and renewal and dreams. And then this almost, I call this sandcastles in the sky. So it's almost like this creative dreamlike space or dreamlike energy. So it's dwelling in this realm or dwelling in this space. And then I asked, okay, what's the relevance or what's the importance of this? So, the Garden of Venus and Neptune. So it's almost like this Neptune energy is the facilitator of the dream space, or that is where they can be found. I keep getting the idea of like an eyeball in these stories, and now this little droplet of water, something around this droplet of water is reminding me of an eyeball, which for me is talking about consciousness. This card does say consciousness. So you could be very conscious, or you could be like awake while dreaming, or very, you could have a very active crown, a very active, mental mind space and dream space. Now, the funny, or maybe I shouldn't say funny, but the interesting thing that comes out next is the Elephant card, which says learn from the past. So this doesn't necessarily bring out the idea of a reoccurring dream, but you've been here before. You've been in this space before. You hear the chimes and jingles in the background. But then we have this moon maiden energy. So all of this moon energy, the Neptune for me is almost like my Pisces card, which is also my moon energy. And then we also have in the extended another moon card coming out here. But all of this moon energy and dreamlike energy was really giving me the idea of being in this dream space or this dream realm, this dream state. But with this card, it talks about almost being, like I said, conscious in a dream or awake in a dream. And guys, I'm literally looking at these cards as I'm sharing them with you, as I'm sharing the story with you, almost creating it with you as I go with what comes through and what comes out. But this is reminding me of almost the dream that I had that I mentioned in the beginning. It's almost like it's almost like being awake in a dream and trying to almost like pull yourself from the dream state back into the awake realm. This moon energy almost comes through as a sense of pressure, or as a sense of, it almost looks like she's down under, or it almost looks like an uncomfortable energy at first. This card says new beginnings. So it's almost, this energy is forcing, it's not forcing our figure under, but with this learned from the past, it's almost like you've been in this state or you've been in this space before. So it's saying to take what you know from before or apply it. Like there is a message or there is something there. So maybe the situation or the dream may it's almost like the dream flips and becomes very more intense. Like it is not a nightmare, but the intensity or the pressure, just imagine almost like an elephant standing in your face, when they're upset and they're angry. Elephants aren't, I don't think elephants are known to become very angry. But when they are in your presence and in your space like this, you may have, like you have been alerted, or there is an alert here. So in the dream, it's coming through as an alert. Like it flips from this really, twilighty, almost serene, like it's just like a space that you want to be in, very relaxing, and peaceful, very calming and unassuming. And then the pressure flips, or something becomes intense, like it's almost like the dream starts to unfold on you. But it's not a nightmare. So maybe that's where almost like the question is coming from. So where this card comes in from, like this, there's like a upper lower type energy, or an upper lower type realm. So it's almost like this bottom layer or under the water will be the dream realm, and the top layer will be the wake state, is how it was coming through for me. So, but it's almost like this is almost out of nowhere, because at first we're in this state, and then this elephant, like an idea comes through or something comes through within a dream, maybe something you're dreaming about. And remember, dreams can be very subconscious, so it could be talking about something that is on your, maybe it is actively on your mind, or something say prevalent on your mind, but in the wake state you're not acknowledging, or you're not noticing it. At least you're not noticing it, almost like its importance, or that aspect of it. Now in the dream, for me, I was dreaming and then I was awake. So this is why I say it may have not have been a nightmare. I was dreaming and then I was awake, but I was awake in the dream, almost hovering over my body, or looking over my, I don't know how to like word that in the right way. And I was trying to wake myself up, but I couldn't. So I knew I was dreaming and I was trying to wake myself up. But that's why I say it's not a scary dream, but it's almost like a, when you get those dreams, it wasn't a sense of sleep paralysis or anything scary like that, but it's almost like a state of astral projection. It's almost like I projected myself into a state from being in a comfortable dream, but then becoming almost too aware. And that started to, in a sense, change the temperature, or change the space of the dream. But the next card we have is the elephant spirit, which says learn from the past. And remember, we have this card here on the bottom that says hollow bone teachability. So this is almost, if it's a reoccurring dream, it's the same lesson in the dream, or the same ideology in the dream that wants to emerge or come forth. It's almost like now is the time that it wants to come forward, or now is the time that it wants to be addressed. I want to say, especially being pressurized in this sense, or being pressurized, like where the dream seems to be unfolding onto you. But there is goodness to come, and there is understanding, which I really like about it, because it almost comes through as confusing, or why is this happening, but the understanding does come through. So the next two cards we have is a lizard spirit, which has another word in here about dream. So dream the world into being. And then we have this tidy house, which says clarity and organization. So when you're in your wakeful mind state, you're gonna be more clear. In a dream, of course, I was hallucinating, so it was very disorienting, which is this Neptune energy, almost like this siren energy. It's almost like it puts you in a trance. But to me, a dream is a trance. But when you're in your wake state, you're much more clear-minded and much more alert. So this is almost coming through as a two of wands energy. And then we have 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11, well, 111 could be significant for you. This card simplifies down to an 11, but you usually don't simplify the 11, but today we are. The 11 simplifies to a 2. 1 plus 1 equals 2. So this is giving me the 2 of wands, and it just looks like a 2 of wands, the 2 sticks, and then the globe that they're usually holding in the 2 of wands. And his focus is a tidy house. Now, this card always comes through as my addict card, and the addict card for me talks about the mental space, the mind, the cerebral realm. So this is the wake state. So it's almost like this energy is saying dream the world into being. It's almost saying like take what you learned from this dream or take from what you learned from this astral. It's almost like a very astral projected experience. It's like take what you learned from this astrally projected experience and use that in your new creation or dreaming the world into being. Getting like the idea of pulling these cards forth, which says don't let past hurts and past traumas contaminate and screw up your new future manifestations. And a true creator creates time. Stop looking for time and create it because you are a creator. So maybe that has to apply and tie into almost this scenario, dreaming the world into being, like in your wake state or in your live state, basically. Tie into this card like a tidy house, your mind. This card could even come through as more the subconscious mind, but it's more of the mental state and the spiritual place, the wake state. So after waking up and you're like, okay, it's like now you want to apply this energy, or now you want to at least comes through with the idea of decoding, like you want to decode this dream, or you want to make sense of it. It's a dream that caught your attention, or it's a dream that has, or at least it seems powerful in a sense, by the way it is coming through with this intensity. So that's the thing, it's not a nightmare or a night terror. It's just a dream that holds deep value and deep meaning. So it comes through as an intensity, but the intensity is really signifying maybe an importance. So in the second row we have the Hermit and the Corn card. So now with this beautiful Hermit card, for me, this is talking about, the Hermit is our Virgo energy, but he is holding this book. And in this book, these lights are appearing, or these lights are coming up. So for me, this is, if you have a dream journal, this talks about maybe writing down your dreams as they come through. These are different aspects or different parts of the dream. So it's almost like you get one piece and you get one piece and you get one piece and you get one piece. But once you apply them, or once you write them all down and put them together, they turn into this grand picture, or this grand scheme. Maybe that's what this card is talking about. It turns into this big picture. This card literally says a big picture. So all of the puzzle pieces are able to, and I like this because these cards are almost looking very similar now. It turns into this grand library, or this grand scheme of dreams. So maybe you, especially with the Elephant card there, which says learn from the past. It's almost like maybe you are being encouraged to write down your dreams, or at least remember them. So when you do look at this Corn energy, or when you do try to make sense of this energy, it does make sense. You just see the hands are almost processing, and his hands on his face like, So it's like when you do look at this Corn energy, it almost does make sense right away, or almost it clicks, like many pieces click to make the big picture or the full story. And you're able to decode the Corn. It's almost like crop circles, even. It's giving the idea of crop circles and messages in crop circles. It's almost like you may not be able to decode one, like if you see a crop circle or something pop up in that sense or sort, you may not be able to decode one, but as you get a bunch or a couple, then the message becomes clearer. Interesting. And then our next card, we have the Magic Wand, so it does become clearer. So the Hermit is able to almost like incorporate or use this magic. This card says magic, intention, and innovation. So taking almost the magic of the dream or the magic from the dream, or simply just a message from the dream or the astral projection. Maybe this was a astral state or a spiritual voyage type energy, but you're coming back and you're almost like gathering your notes and taking or looking through your notes or your memories of the experience, and it is turning or it is allowing you to imply or implement this craft energy, this magic, and intention energy. So it's almost like this dream is helping you almost fortify your intention, fortify your state of manifestation or your creativity, your power, if anything, your creational power. Bringing it back to this card, which says a true creator creates time. Stop looking for more time and create it. So maybe you went into the dreams almost like subconsciously with questions or without knowing, even without knowing that you were even looking for anything. It's almost like your internal state. It's almost like our internal state speaks for us or takes us exactly where we need to go. So we're gonna jump into the extended. I like these two cards in the extended because first of all, our next two cards is the Netcaster, which we'll go over in the extended, and the Eight of Fire. And I like this because she's looking down, which is giving really this moon type energy from up here. This moon and this almost like pressurized energy. She's looking down, but now he's looking up. So now, like I said, this is almost like being awake in a dream and having that direct contact with this energy, this dreamlike energy, or this. And the Eight of Wands talks about receiving a lot of downloads or receiving a lot of messages, communications. And I'm liking how both of these cards have all of these sparkles and all of these lights around. So it almost signifies, you know, how like when you meet up with a physical person or an actual person and you guys just click, like the energy just flows and everything synchronizes up together. Like these energies are wanting to synchronize up, and he's looking up while she's looking down. So I want to say some type of connection has been made. And now this card that was at the bottom of the deck, for me, is talking about this energy, this hermit energy, and using the craft, like using this magical energy or this astral energy or something received from the dream realm. Like you can see, he's almost looking down, almost still partly or halfway in the dream. But in this energy, with the Eight of Wands, he looks up. So he's not looking down anymore, which talks about like, almost like a connection has been made, or like an understanding, like there is a extreme understanding or an extreme, maybe this is a massive download as well, because I also see these little sparkles or these dots that's right here in the background. It's almost like this massive download, and then our figure is acting out or doing what the download delivered. So if this resonated with you, we're already 23 minutes in. I'm going to hop into the extended, which will be the link in the description. If you would like to check that out, you can. There's also a membership link there. I don't know how long that's going to be there, but we're going to see how that works out for us in the meantime. So we can keep pouring out as many extendeds as possible. But we're going to tap more into the shadow work energy. We're going to tap more into this almost duality type energy and see where this is wanting to take us. Take what resonates, leave the rest, and I will catch you beautiful beings in the next one. Peace.